What's up, everybody? Welcome. Breaking news, breaking
This has
news.
to be every parent's worst nightmare. Your car gets stolen and your
Car
two kids
stolen.
are inside.
Kids
At
inside.
this point, we don't know the ages or genders of those children, but this is a active pursuit here with the California Highway Patrol, but it actually started with the LA County Sheriff's Department. Now, the vehicle is this silver Chrysler sedan. I'm going to push in here real quick. The shot's going to go black for just a second, but you'll see it come out the other side there. So you see the vehicle there, no visible damage to the car that I can see, but very tinted windows, which makes it difficult for us to see anyone inside, or whether the person who took this car is a man or a woman. But the pursuit continues here now, westbound on the 10 freeway. We're going to be basically at the end of the freeway here in Santa Monica within a matter of minutes.
This is crazy. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. Thank you for joining. Stolen car. The car was taken, and there was kids inside, and the person took off with the kids in the car. Okay,
Yeah,
this is California, Los Angeles.
What happened, Carolyn? Now, where the vehicle was taken from and under what circumstances, that's unknown. But what we do know is that this was a stolen vehicle, and apparently the person inside also wanted for kidnapping. So the only two things that would appear to make the most sense is that the person stole the car, in all likelihood not even knowing that the kids were in there. But again, from what we're hearing, it is two children inside. We don't know their ages. We don't know their genders. But again, this person taking the car somewhere near the East LA area. That is where this started with the Sheriff's Department. And once it got onto the westbound 10 freeway, and it was only on the westbound 10 freeway, that is when the CHP took over. So now we are on a PCH. As I mentioned, the 10 freeway was going to come to an end. So now we're here in Santa Monica on PCH, continuing northbound. California Highway Patrol in pursuit, but they're going to be limited on what they can do when it comes to pursuit intervention tactics, because those two
kids inside.
Inside. I already heard them say on the scanner that they're not going to try a pit maneuver on this one, understandably so. But one thing that they were going to try was to deploy some spike strips in that tunnel that we just were in. Now, I haven't heard them say whether or not it was a successful spike, and I'm not really seeing him slowing down much to tell us that perhaps he's got a flat, but we'll continue to watch the vehicle, see if we do start seeing signs of him having a flat tire. But for now, the pursuit continues here northbound on PCH.
Crazy, man. I don't know. I wonder where the car was taken from. Like, was it a grocery store outside of the house? I've heard there's been stories like that.
Thankfully not. It looked like he was he had a pretty much open roadway on the westbound 10 freeway once he crossed over the 405, and he was at freeway speeds. So here on PCH, you see him traveling at about 40 miles an hour, so relatively slow, all things considered, and thankfully so, with those two victims inside. Looking a little bit closer at the vehicle, I'm still watching those tires. I'm really hoping that he ran over that spike strip when he went in that tunnel, but again, at this point, I haven't heard that he did, and is continuing northbound on PCH. Again, very tinted windows, so we can't really see much inside, but I can at least show you some of the cruisers here that are trailing this vehicle.
Yeah, no way they let this go.
4 immediately behind him. I think there's probably one further back, holding back some of the traffic, and of course we've also got the police helicopter overhead.
Oh, the grappler. Yeah, I saw a video. Yeah, there's kids in the car. I saw a video about the grappler, Chiefs. I'm going to have to do it for the Clips channel.
It really would be a perfect spot.
Perhaps another opportunity for a spike strip.
It really would be a perfect spot to do it, Carolyn, since it's basically just a 3-lane road here, so they could actually lay spike strips across the entire road, and he's got a good chance of hitting them. So unless he were to see them and swerve into the opposite lanes of traffic here, if they do deploy one up ahead, there's a very good chance that he's going to run a spike strip over, and hopefully that will be the end to this without anybody getting hurt. But I was just zooming in there, too, as you were asking your question. I thought I could see a front passenger, and if you look there, you can see wearing a colorful T-shirt. I see his hand resting there on the side of the door. Unknown if that is another suspect, if there were two suspects and they're in the front and the kids are in the back, or if this is an older child, 13 years old or so, who would be able to sit in that front seat, and the other child is in the back. That at this point is unknown. All we know is that this vehicle was taken somewhere from the East LA area not long ago, about 15 minutes or so. It was when we first heard about the pursuit, but it had been going on for about 10 minutes prior to that. But again, from East LA all the way here to the area of PCH and Temescal Canyon, possibly setting up to make that turn onto Temescal, or no, continuing straight here at PCH.
Yeah, and it did appear the driver had moved in to the far right lane. Now they're scooting back over, and still, Eliana, for the most part, continuing about the speed of traffic here, obeying the signals in the area as well.
From what we've been able to watch him here on PCH, he's pretty much going with the flow of traffic. I think he might have ran a red light back there, but it looks like for the most part he's driving relatively calm, thankfully. And you saw that Tesla there. He moved off to the side because this is what he saw. He saw these CHP cruisers trailing this guy. Although it's not an extremely high-speed chase, that's exactly what you want to do. Whenever a pursuit passes by you like this, you want to just pull over like that Tesla did, get out of the way, let the pursuit go by, and then rejoin traffic when it is safe to do so. Sometimes people try to get involved and try to be a hero. You do not want to do that because you don't know if this person is potentially armed and could harm you or harm somebody else, or one of the officers could get hurt in the process. So whenever a pursuit passes you by, and here in the LA area, you are likely to encounter one when you're in our area, unfortunately. That's something you're definitely going to want to do, is just let the pursuit go by and rejoin traffic when it is safe to do so.
And certainly this vehicle knows there are multiple CHP cruisers in pursuit. We can see the flashing lights behind, and this driver choosing to ignore that. Sometimes when people take a car that has children inside, as you mentioned, perhaps unknowingly, once they make that discovery, they'll often pull over and ditch the vehicle. But that's certainly not the case here.
Really didn't have the time, and at this point, if they abandon it and try to take off running, they're likely to get caught. But we have covered a few cases just like that, where unfortunately very similar circumstances. Parent leaves their child in the car just to make a quick trip into the store, convenience store, get gas, and somebody jumps into the car thinking nobody's in there, but there's a child inside, and they don't want to get in trouble for kidnapping in addition to stealing the car, of course, so they ditch it as quick as possible. Usually the child is not hurt in any way. In this case, of course, we are. This began all the way in East Los Angeles, and now we're at PCH and Puerto Marina here in the Palisades, continuing to make our way northbound on Pacific Coast Highway. So we'll see how far we go, or if he decides to turn around and head back south and potentially try to get back on the freeway. But for now, we continue northbound on Pacific Coast Highway here, approaching the Getty Villa.
And traffic quite light right now, Eliana.
Quite light through the area. It's actually something we noticed. We were up on a holiday traffic flight earlier for about an hour and a half or so. And yes, there were pockets of areas where our freeways were slow, as is typical on a Friday. And of course, you do have that getaway traffic today. So there were some pockets of slowing here and there. But overall, I was really surprised that a lot of our areas are actually a lot lighter than usual. So here is an example of that. Here on PCH, normally a very busy area for us, is pretty much wide open for this guy as he continues northbound on PCH.
Yeah, I was saying there was a couple of stories. I remember, look at this guy swerving. There was a couple of stories where people have taken stolen cars, but they don't want the heat and the smoke that comes with it when there's a child inside. There was one I remember they dropped off the child somewhere on the side of the road or whatever. I'm also wondering how old are the kids inside of the car, and like, what are they thinking? Like, is this person talking to them?
Moves we've seen him do yet. So hopefully we don't see any more of that, considering that there are two children in this car. Now, what their ages and genders are unknown, and under what circumstances this vehicle was taken, that is also unknown. But you can think about how this would happen to you if you were simply pulling over, you've got your child or you've got your pet inside of the car, you're simply getting gas, and then somebody just hops in the vehicle when you're not looking, and they don't realize that you've got this precious cargo on board. So usually they try to just ditch the vehicle as quickly as possible. But in this case, we again are a very long ways from where this began.
Yeah, our assignment desk is working, trying to find out more information on just what happened in East LA, where this car was taken. Hopefully finding out some more information about the youngsters on board here. Eliana, as you mentioned, they're very darkly tinted windows here, so it's difficult to see inside. Are you seeing any other movement aside from what you thought you discerned there in the front passenger seat?
Yeah, that front window is really our only eyes into the car, and I couldn't really see the driver much from this angle, but I could see that there is, in fact, a passenger in the front. Appears to be another man, but could also be
people.
just an older teen that can sit in the front seat, and that's potentially one of our victims. So when this does come to a stop, of course, the CHP is going to be very careful about how they approach the car. They're going to be careful about their call-outs, and don't be surprised if one of the children is a teenager. That person could potentially be initially detained as they figure out whether or not that person is a suspect or one of the victims. So it really will be a very careful situation when all things are said and done here at the termination of this pursuit.
And Eliana, are we still seeing those 4 different CHP vehicles behind this car?
Yeah, let me widen out so I can try to count them again. So we've got...
They had mentioned that, like, oh, maybe there's a flat
Party
tire,
popper
but
emoji.
I don't think so. Thank you, Bindi. Thank you for the 30 months. I don't think so. And the person is driving really calmly, too. You know, like, it's weird, strange.
Prevention tactics, what can they do in these types of situations? We always talk about spike strips, especially with a vehicle of this size. With a car this size, a spike strip, or a pit maneuver, rather. A pit maneuver with a vehicle this size would be perfect because it's just the right size, going in the right speeds, but because of those 2 victims inside, they're not going to try it. I just heard them say that on the scanner, that is out of the question in this situation. But one thing that they are willing to try, and they have tried already, is to deploy spike strips in front of the vehicle in hopes that the vehicle will run those over and the tires will slowly start to deflate, and hopefully that will bring things to a peaceful end. We know that there was one there at the tunnel there by the California Incline and the end of the 10 freeway, but it doesn't appear as if the vehicle ran them over.
Yeah, because that would have been, what, about 10 miles ago, Eliana, and we'd expect perhaps to see some slowing or some impact on those tires if, in fact, that driver had hit that spike strip back there through the tunnel.
Yeah, correct. That was a good 10 minutes ago or so. It was right when we got overhead, actually. And yeah, we didn't notice any change in the way that the vehicle drove. We didn't really notice any change visually to the tires themselves. And now he's really picking up speed here. We're now freeway speeds here on PCH. So 60 miles an hour, so fastest we've seen him go. So it does not appear as if those tires are starting to give way in any way right now.
Yeah, and Eliana, you've touched on this repeatedly, but the real danger here, or what officers are concerned about, are those 2 children in this vehicle, and it really does limit them, you know, at early.
I kind of think we have somewhat of a better view. It's a different angle, but let me just show you guys this. I think the quality is a little bit better here. Oh, but it's cutting out.
Are they swapping out? Is there another one? Very good.
The quality is crazy with this one. It's ABC7.
Going to get our first glimpse here in just a second through the front windshield, and we'll hopefully get a better idea of the demeanor and description of the driver behind the wheel here. You can see those hands on the steering wheel.
Trying to stay out of the way because I want to see if we get anything from the inside of the vehicle.
And it does sound like this is going to fall on those CHP units to maintain a visual of this suspect, because the LA County Sheriff's helicopter is about to make their way back to the sheriff's station for fuel. So the helicopter overhead is running out of gas. They're going to refuel, and again, it's going to be up to these half dozen or so California Highway Patrol units to keep the suspect within arm's reach here. So they're not going to give this up. They've shown every indication that they are dedicated to this pursuit. Again, a kidnapping suspect. Unclear whether there are any other charges or what other charges are involved here. If you look closely enough, you can see it appears to be a little boy in the passenger seat of the vehicle. Looks like a little boy in the passenger seat, coming up on a little bit of congestion as he makes his way further north here. We are now looking southbound, using the median to get around some of that traffic there. He's got the green light. He's going to continue through here as they continue this pursuit at a safe distance. But again, we're getting our first glimpse through the front windshield. Apologize for the exhaust there. We'll kind of crab along here and try and hold it.
Yeah, whoever said it, nice illegal tint, for sure, that's definitely an illegal tint. So you can barely see, maybe just the front. There he is. Okay, there it is. There it is. So they're ahead of it. ABSC 7 is ahead of it.
You broke up one more time. Copy that. Copy. So we're just getting some word in from our assignment desk that there's apparently a parent on the phone with law enforcement. Those two children were inside of the vehicle at the time that this vehicle was stolen. So this is a stolen vehicle, potentially carjacked from a parent with two children inside of the vehicle. The parent is telling law enforcement that there's about a half a tank of gas inside of this silver Chrysler. Again, continuing to blow through these red lights here with at least a couple of children who you can only imagine must be scared to death. This is a stranger that is driving this vehicle. There are two children inside of this stolen vehicle, and this is a pursuit that will not end until California Highway Patrol can safely stop this vehicle and apprehend that suspect. There is almost no other way that this pursuit can end, and hopefully if the driving remains as safe and slow as it is, nobody will get hurt here. Hopefully they can reach that suspect and negotiate with that driver. But again, disturbing details now as we get word that this is a stolen vehicle with two children in the vehicle at the time this vehicle was stolen. So that really complicates things, and it really just amplifies the care that they are taking with this vehicle. You can only imagine that they are trying to learn whatever they can about that suspect, if at all possible. I'm sure they are working with more details surrounding the circumstances by which this vehicle was stolen. But it is distressing, to say the least, to learn that information. And as you see this pursuit continue up the Pacific Coast Highway, it's all starting to make a lot more sense. California Highway Patrol using extra caution here, and thankfully we can see that the driver is driving relatively safely, despite the fact that he has blown through a number of red lights. So hopefully that continues. Hopefully this is somebody that they can reason with. But it will not end until they apprehend the suspect and rescue those children. That is almost a sure thing at this point. There are a number of reasons, a number of factors that the watch commanders and supervisors take into consideration when they continue these pursuits, when to be more aggressive, when to use various...
I'm just switching to KCAL for a second, because you can see like a very clear shot of the front and the passenger. I don't know, maybe that's a victim, you know, that maybe that's a teen. We don't know the ages. Two kids inside the vehicle, kidnapped. Okay, I'm gonna switch it back a little bit because so it's KCAL and ABC.
Hard to imagine for the parent and of course the children inside the vehicle. But again, he's continuing up PCH here, crossing Webb Way at another red light here. There was, right past Malibu Colony here, there was talk earlier of a spike strip being prepared at the, as he kind of made his way towards Santa Monica, exiting off the 10 freeway. Perhaps we may see another spike strip attempt somewhere along PCH. It would not be surprising at all. the conditions appear
yeah.
optimal if they could set up ahead of the suspect and potentially deflate those tires and safely bring this to a slow crawl. So we'll see if that's in the cards here. But what I can tell you is that any talk of a pit maneuver has been tabled for now, considering the dangerous nature of that tactic. And obviously, with children on board, they likely will not pit that vehicle.
Yeah, with kids on board, this is like a tough situation.
Yeah.
Like, how do you handle this, right?
I'm actually, we're scanning again here, trying to zero in, because it does look like I believe they've switched from the pink. Perhaps the teal, yeah. Continuing through another red light, northbound PCH. Scanner 1, and it does sound like there is talk of... All right, just past John Tyler Drive here, there is some talk now of a possible spike strip attempt in the making here, perhaps a little further north along PCH. Something we're going to watch out for. We were just discussing that, and sure enough, it does sound like that might be the next tactic here to try and impede the suspect here. So if they could do that safely, that would be great. It'd be great to see them lay down a nice spike strip and poke those tires. But right now, that Chrysler is fully mobile and fully capable as it continues with about a half tank of gas. Again, this started in East LA, but probably still working with around a half a tank, I'd say, maybe a little less, obviously, at this point. That's the information that law enforcement is working with. So if nothing else, it'll eventually run out of gas. They could take this all the way up PCH if they need to. Unfortunately, darkness is going to start falling here in the next 20 minutes, but they have the resources in place. It is it's on a safe highway here. You know, this is much better than chasing this guy through surface streets or a congested freeway. You're on PCH with very limited opportunity for him to turn off here and get lost. So I don't see them having a real problem maintaining a visual here, especially at these speeds. This should be a very simple wait and see game for them. They have time on their side. Right now, the airship that was assisting has pulled off for fuel. I imagine there is at least another airship probably on the way, or perhaps that airship will be heading back here with a full tank here as it gets dark. But California Highway Patrol, with at least a half a dozen units, making their way up PCH through Malibu here, and I imagine there will be additional CHP resources preparing to take over this pursuit as he gets up into the Ventura County area. That's going to be next here as we make our way up Malibu.
This is wild. I mean, all right, if you're a criminal and you steal cars, okay, that's one thing. But then to take a car, some people might just get in the car and be like, oh, shit, there's kids in here. There's no way in hell. But not this person. Going all out. And casually, too. That's the creative. Just casually, I guess. Just going for a drive down PCH, Pacific Coast Highway. I've been down this highway before. It actually is. It is really beautiful. And they're just going for... I think did the top open of the car? The top's open. I don't know if it was open the whole time, but it's open now. I don't know if it was open the whole time, but it looks like it was open. It's open now.
Copy that. Coming up on Latigo Canyon Road as they continue northbound PCH, California Highway Patrol behind the suspect. It does sound like they may be getting some help from the LA County Sheriff's Department here by way of a spike strip setup a little further north here. We're going to try and keep an eye out for that as he continues up the coastline here. There are vehicles, or there's at least one vehicle. Oh, he just hit it. He just hit it.
Oh, we missed
it. He just hit it. Let's see if that was successful.
Whoa, it almost looked like somebody else got caught up in it, too.
That was, I believe, a sheriff's SUV there that laid down that spike strip. So just...
Minute behind? 2 minutes behind? Boom. Oh, my God.
Oh, no. Right into cross traffic, and the driver loses control right into the hillside there at a major intersection. That's going to be Canaan Doom Road, and the driver is now jumping out of the vehicle.
Look at
There's
this person.
2 kids inside that vehicle.
What a piece of shit. Look at that guy.
He's running. He's on the run. They're going to chase him up this embankment here. There are children inside that vehicle. We'll go back in just a second. Right now, we're going to stick with the driver. California Highway Patrol chasing the suspect up the embankment as he runs for his life here up the hillside on the west side into an apartment complex right along PCH at Canaan Doom Road. A major crash there with cross traffic right along PCH. Oh my God.
This guy taking off his shirt,
the driver still running barefoot, taking off a sweater and continuing to run through this apartment complex towards the beach. Oh, this is terrible. This is just terrible. He's continuing this foot pursuit here.
He's tired now. He's tired.
At Point Doom, through a field in Point Doom. He's running through an open field here. We'll see if that officer was able to able to make his way up that embankment with him here. It was a pretty steep embankment, and he is now going to start running out. Look at it. He's really that's got to be really uncomfortable, barefoot, running through this field. He's still running. Can't see anybody behind him. Anybody behind him, Rob? Anybody at all? I don't lose him. I don't see anybody behind him. I don't see anybody behind him yet. He's running through the trees. At some point, I want to get an address here at the end of this this neighborhood. We'll try and get the street. He's running through the vegetation behind some private property. Some steep terrain here in Point Doom, and he is navigating it pretty well considering he's barefoot here.
He's his bare hands. The barb shit doesn't matter. He's grabbing up to the barbs
here, but he's in an open field off of Port Shed Road, right off of Canaan Doom, right off of PCH. You saw him jump out of the vehicle after a violent crash. At some point, we will get a condition on those kids, and we will get a shot of that vehicle. But right now, we are one of the only people with a view of this suspect. Law enforcement is at a real disadvantage here. They're trying to get into position. The airship had to pull off for fuel. Those ground officers, those officers on the ground, I should say.
Barefoot, bare hands, grabbing. I'm pretty sure it's got to be wired. Barbs on there and shit. What the hell?
The car that was hit, and the car that actually was hit when he crashed, right before he crashed.
Where the guy's
crashed
at,
into that car that you see on the left side of your screen.
Not that, but no.
Looks like.
And as Dave was saying, I could see some of the RAs right there. You can see them in the yellow coats with some medical.
And it looks like the CHP officers there with the car.
Oh my gosh, that's one of the kids. Look at that.
That had the kids in it.
Is that one of the kids?
We haven't seen them.
Doesn't look like they've gotten the kids out yet, though. That's
who's that on the floor? Hold on, let me mute this. That's one of the kids on the floor?
Yeah, Rick, if we can reposition, that pole's right in the way. Yeah, for sure. So we're going to try to get that pole out of the shot here.
Okay, hold on.
In the meantime,
you can see this one. It's a. Okay, you can see it on both. There's a child on the floor. Oh my God. Well, I don't know. Why aren't the cops on top of? Is that a child? Why aren't the cops on top of that person? It looks like a kid, maybe. I don't know. Or now they're trying to get somebody out of the vehicle.
Pursuit and what has transpired just in the past 15 minutes or so, that we've seen just some erratic driving, going really fast on PCH, picking up speeds, and then crashing into that car and then the curb, and that's where the car came to a stop, as you see right there on the right side of your screen, where the CHP officer is standing right now. Hopefully, these children are okay. We're hoping that they just pull them out of there, just totally okay. I mean, I imagine. They're very shaken from all that's what has transpired and not knowing
a stretcher there closer to the car.
Okay.
Somebody lifted this person off the floor.
Who this person is that was driving this car, which obviously you can only imagine what must have been going through these children's minds, Juan. I mean,
and hopefully the parents are being rushed to the scene there to comfort their children, who are now. Looks like we've got one stretcher.
Pub scan said one person trapped, so that's what's happening at the vehicle. What are they doing? Oh my God, are you kidding me, yo? What the hell? Wow, really? Oh my God. All right, okay, let me switch the focus then. Oh my gosh, what the hell? Okay, At the vehicle where you see all these firefighters and stuff, apparently somebody's trapped inside. Try to get other feed so we can get some different angles. I don't know if I hope somebody's still following this guy, but I understand like the priority is this kid. The hell?
Right now, and again, hopefully they're okay. Hopefully they don't have any major injuries, but we do see them moving. It looks like they're wearing a little red T-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the shame of it was that he had been doing 40, but once he had seen that one black and white off to the side, all of a sudden he thought, well, now I got to try and get away. He got it up to 90 miles per hour, and I think when he hit that vehicle, he must have been up around 70. I don't remember exactly. I didn't take a look at it, but I think he was doing around 60, 70 miles per hour.
Yeah. You can see another stretcher being brought into the scene here. We're just getting word right now, that there might have been 3 children inside this car. We previously thought there were only 2 kids inside here. So it makes you wonder how all 3 are doing then. We only saw them bring 1 child out so far that we've seen. We do believe there was 1 child in the front seat. Our photographer from iCkEdMeL, he actually possibly saw a face in the front seat, in the passenger seat. So we do believe there might have been a child there as well, and then 2 perhaps in the back. So again, their conditions unknown at this hour. That's why we are keeping this shot pretty far back right now. And this all coming to
I'm thinking and I'm hoping that the LAPD chopper continued to follow the suspect while they tend to the victims here. Like this one right here, this kid looks pretty young. Reportedly, there was 1 trapped inside.
But he was right in this neighborhood. It was the last time we saw him here at Portshed Road at Boniface Drive in Point Dume. You could see a flood of law enforcement in this neighborhood now. Well, hopefully, we can only hope that maybe a resident saw something and was able to report back on the location of this suspect. But they appear to be focusing on this block right here, which is within proximity of where we last saw him as he climbed through up this embankment and into this neighborhood here.
So the suspect is still on the run, it looks like.
You can see southbound traffic on PCH now coming to a standstill. A long line of traffic here as the highway is shut down, still waiting for paramedics as they tend to these children. We have 3 kids who were inside of that vehicle at the time of that violent crash. And again, a driver who did not appear to be harmed at all, escaping the vehicle, running into a neighborhood here in Point Dume. Another vehicle and even a 3rd vehicle that the vehicle crashed into. You can see if you push in on the innocent motorist there, came into contact with another white SUV. And so a total of 3 vehicles, it appears, involved in this crash. He was blowing right through the red light. That cross traffic, that vehicle driving, crossing PCH had the green light and was basically T-boned by the suspect. One detained.
1 detained?
Okay. Copy that. Copy that. So some new information just coming in now from the Sheriff's Department. This is from the Sheriff's Department. We do not know if it's the suspect, but 1 person is being detained at this moment. 1 person is being detained in Point Dume, in the vicinity of where we last saw that suspect. We do not know for sure whether it is the suspect who stole this vehicle and went running up that embankment, but at least 1 person is now being detained. So that is the information coming from the LA County Sheriff's Department. 1 person in custody, and they will hopefully get a description in short order here to make sure it is perhaps, with any luck, the right suspect in custody here. Certainly that would put a lot of people at ease here and really simplify things. Without that, they still have a perimeter set up in this neighborhood. We're going to try and confirm that it's the suspect, but right now one person has been detained, 3 children from that vehicle, that stolen vehicle. They were 3 innocent children who happened to be inside the vehicle when the vehicle was stolen. They are all now about to be transported to the hospital.
What a crazy, insane situation, man, with these kids. And I feel like Cali really should get the grapple technology.
Copy.
That could prevent a lot of these. The
Copy
chases
that.
will
Let me
be
know.
done so
Sounds
quick.
good. Are you hearing a fire chopper coming in? Okay, copy that. As we speak, again, the California Highway Patrol is now working with the Sheriff's Department to try and give us a solid ID of the suspect. We were one of the last ones to actually see that suspect as he ran through the neighborhood here. And so they have an accurate description now to work with, and hopefully we'll have confirmation whether the person being detained here in Point Dume is the driver, that GTA suspect who kidnapped these 3 children. In the meantime, if you're just joining us on abc7.com and our streaming channels, you are looking at the end of what seemed to be a tame chase until it wasn't, and a dramatic crash ending after a stolen vehicle with 3 innocent children inside of the car crashed into another innocent motorist at Cane and Doom Road. This is going to be a person who was inside of that vehicle that you're looking at here now being tended to. It looks like perhaps an elderly person being pulled out of that vehicle.
Oh my gosh.
Here at the intersection. So that person right there was inside of the car near the top of your screen. That was T-boned at the intersection and slammed right into another SUV at the median on PCH at Cane and Doom, which is now all shut down. A major crash scene. One person at least inside that vehicle now being tended to. It appears to be an elderly victim. 3 children on their way to the hospital. All 3 children appear to be conscious and breathing. We can breathe a sigh of relief there. We can only imagine that the parents are already on their way to Malibu, because this all started in East LA, and that is where this chase began. That's where it appears the vehicle was stolen from, and you can see a whole contingent of California Highway Patrol units and sheriff's deputies up the road near Port Shed Drive as they search for that suspect.
They're still searching for him? They didn't catch his ass? I mean, they said somebody was detained, right? But
uniforms on and the badges and the belt, but we're still fathers, sons, brothers, sister. So it gets a little personal. I mean, we stay professional, no doubt about it. But we are, we have a home life, and it's something like this. I mean, this is, I've handled so many pursuits. I've been in pursuits on the ground and then in the air, and didn't working with you folks. But when it involves children, it just...
Yeah, let me see where here.
Is in custody. That's the word from the LA County Sheriff's Department. We're going to make our way over to the neighborhood there where you see all of those flashing lights and try and get a visual of that suspect now under arrest. But it does appear, well, it is now confirmed that suspect is indeed in custody.
In custody. Okay, good.
He went for quite a run. Copy that. He went for quite a run through this neighborhood, through an open field.
Crypto, I was thinking the same thing, honestly. That did cross my mind. Because there was a desperation about this perp. This is a really dangerous type of person, too, in society. Like, that has no care, no decency, like, to take somebody's kids. And not only take somebody's kids, but drive like an insane maniac. And when you crash, You felt nothing inside you to like, fuck, okay, the kids, are you okay? What? No, he took off running like a bat out of hell. Running. Look at this guy. Running. I don't want people like that in society. Running. Chaos. Look at this guy. This was earlier. Running, skipping through the field and shit, barefoot. He was, I don't know how, he was grabbing onto barbed wire and just like nothing, pulling the shit and getting through and climbing up. That's crazy. No care. Because I feel like in people, there's some type of, I don't know, right? Empathy or something. You see a kid, they're hurt. Oh, you know, are you okay? Or hey, was your parents at? Like something. Some type of, even criminals, some criminals, not all of them. There's a suspect. Some criminals have decency. Oh my God, it's a kid. No, we're not going to do this shit, homie. We're going to put this whatever down. We're not going to do this to the kid. Not this guy. There's a suspect, the rat. Could be drugs. Yeah, you're right. It could be drugs. Probably.
Port Shed Road, Boniface Drive, California Highway Patrol with the suspect in custody. He will now be placed into a patrol car. He will be off to Men's Central Jail here momentarily. A dramatic.
And he'll be out by tomorrow morning.
Saving a lot of people a lot of trouble, especially as night falls here in Malibu from searching for the suspect in the dark and locking down this neighborhood. One way or another, it was not going to end well for this suspect. But finally, it does appear that that suspect is now in custody. And the 3 children inside of that car are now on their way to the hospital. Some relieved parents. Hopefully those kids are going to be okay. It was impossible to tell exactly the condition, but they were shaken. One was definitely in pain. Just a dramatic scene here in Malibu on a Friday night after a dramatic crash at PCH and Canaan Doom Road.
Boy. These people's brains need to be examined. They really do. And studied like they used to do.
An incredible end to this pursuit.
I really do think they do need asylums
and quite unpredictable, considering that this guy was traveling across the city of Los Angeles from East LA down the 10 freeway at manageable speeds, eventually making his way out to Malibu or out to Santa Monica and onto PCH, and then was traveling relatively slowly at speeds of around 40 miles per hour. It wasn't until he encountered a spike strip. They tried to deflate the tires, and at that point he really started picking up speed, started blowing through a number of red lights on PCH, and eventually slammed into an innocent motorist at Canaan Doom. And now you can see the end here as they place the suspect in custody.
That's wild. I want to show you guys something too here in a second about this video that came out. It was a chase too. It was kind of wild, but it's short. Damn, look, they're dragging it. They should drag his ass. I honestly, for certain cases like this, they should have brought the canines out for his ass, even if he was handcuffed. Some people, they got to learn hard. They got to learn the hard way. Some people need to learn. This guy needs to learn the hard. Needs to have his ass bitten and chewed and dragged and thrown into the car.
She's saying the same thing, that there's a county helicopter landing somewhere, but yeah.
Throw his ass in the car. Shut up.
Let me know if you see anything. Yeah. Oh, are they setting up? Yeah.
This person's gonna kill somebody. Yeah, in the future.
Right at the right, my right here, about 10 o'clock.
If he hasn't killed somebody
left,
already,
sorry, left. Yeah.
He's gonna kill somebody.
Got it. It does appear that air rescue is on the way out here. Every indication is that at least one of the patients will be airlifted out of here, perhaps more than one.
Oh, really?
Once again, you're looking at PCH at Canaan Doom Road, which is now shut down. A major accident, a major crash at this intersection. There's the elderly victim who was in the other vehicle. She was just traveling across PCH, making the turn onto the southbound side of PCH when that GTA suspect slammed right into the driver's side.
That's crazy. Yeah, man. I mean, look at this. Like, the other cars, too. We have the kids, the elderly lady. You gotta kill those kids. I really don't understand how some of these people drive, because I encounter nutty people all the time on the highway. I don't understand how some of these people function. I always wonder, like, their brain chemistry.
Copy.
There was somebody this morning. I was driving next to a school bus, and there was somebody behind me. I was driving the speed limit, and they're honking. Bam, 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 bam. I didn't speed up because those people, too, they think that everybody's going to move for them, that they're going to control their environment and society. I didn't move. I drove the same speed. Bam, 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 just honking and beeping. I'm like, well, what's up with this dude? What do you want me to do? Start speeding for you to make you feel, I don't know, so you can speed or something? If one of these chase vehicles pull up behind me, I'm not moving out of the way. I'm going the same speed, maybe even slower. Fuck it, I'll go slower. You're going to have to go around me. I want to put myself in a situation either. Start speeding to appease you that's behind me and shit. I'm going to appease you by speeding ahead and shit. Going crazy. Okay, let me show you this video real quick, this grapple video. I don't know why California hasn't adopted this, because I think the grappler is great technology. This was posted today, and it was kind of interesting and almost kind of funny. Check this out. Wait, no, I guess there's no audio. So there was a police chase. They deployed the grappler. This thing is crazy if you've never seen it. And it attaches to the vehicle. The cop car deploys this shit like Spider-Man. And like it, I don't know what it does. I guess it pulls the vehicle back. They can't leave. These perps are like in distress, trying to leave the situation. I've never seen this before. So they're reversing and trying to accelerate to get out of the situation. Reversing and accelerating. Determined. Desperate. I think this is great technology. Why not use the technology that we have? It got all this AI stuff. But anyway, so yeah, this person, boom, the whole fucking thing, the axle, everything comes off. Now you're not going anywhere. The whole shit rips off. Wow. The grapple's pretty dope. I mean, I don't know what kind of money or training goes behind it. But like for some of these California chases, it might be useful, especially like this situation with these kids. You literally grab the car, it stops it in its tracks, and you can't go. The guy would have taken off running, and maybe these people wouldn't have been in an accident. That's crazy, man.
But it is just still a very active and moving scene here. And you see the deputies, they're directing traffic. We were actually over by the Malibu Pier, and we saw this car flying down right by us on PCH, right by the pier there, and tons of sheriff's deputies' cars following right behind. He was going incredibly fast. Again, as we've been learning, there are 3 children in the car, not related to the driver. Still trying to get exactly from officials what exactly happened here. We know it took place in East Los Angeles, but just a very frightening situation. The people around here, I was asking if they saw the end of the crash, and none of these folks saw it. But just, you can't imagine what those kids were thinking inside that car as this was going on. Just incredibly a scary situation. You see all the fire trucks here. They're still working on this crash scene here, trying to get it cleared up and get it safe for everyone. But that's what it's looking like over here right now.
Yeah, no doubt, Lauren, that area there is going to be very busy and closed down for at least for the rest of tonight as they try to figure out what's going on and document the entire situation.
Hey, Lauren, you said that you saw one of the children being loaded into one of the ambulances. Did you get a look about how old they might be?
Susie, to clarify on that, it wasn't a child. I saw a person. I don't know. I wasn't able to see if they were older or younger or not. I saw a person being put into a stretcher into the ambulance there, and then they took them away. And here's another ambulance coming right here, too. So it's a very fluid situation out here. Tons of first responders, deputies. I also saw firefighters.
David said 5 to 7K for a grappler, $400 each net. Oh, because you got to pay for the net. Every time you use it, you got to pay. Oh, okay. I think maybe they should use it for certain situations, because I've seen other states that use the grappler, and honestly, it seems very successful to me. Like, it's like safe. It kind of stops the car almost dead in its tracks. They can't go anywhere, and now you have the whole situation controlled, you know?
So that's a very...
I have a feeling the kids are probably okay. I hope they are. I don't know about that elderly lady, though. I don't know. I can't imagine that. Like, can you imagine, like, you're in this situation, your kid's taken somehow, and you're just talking to the cops, and you're just watching on the news, the TV, your kid is in this vehicle, and there's a chase. Like, that's got to be like a wild-ass situation. And look at this vehicle. Oh, they changed it. They do use the grapple. They haven't rolled it out for wider use due to costs. Really? And with lawyers and white liberal chicks. Yeah, with all the money and spending that they do, why not get the grappler? Use the technology to your advance. Why not? I don't know. The kids were taken to the hospital. I guess we'll have to see. The suspect's okay, though. The suspect seems to be okay. Somehow he took off running after that. All that. Man, it's wild. Is this the chopper that's landing? Let me see. What's this over here? Oh, yeah, that's maybe the medevac.
And now strangers are helping them, right?
Yeah,
they're going to know the difference between the good guys and the bad guys. And right now they're getting so much help to get the help that they need. And I can only imagine what the parents are thinking. I'm sure there are officers with them right now, maybe taking them to the hospital. Just a horrific Friday night.
Right. I mean, you know, again, the circumstance is unclear right now
the
as to exactly how this went down. You know, were they taken from a convenience store when the car was still on?
Thanks,
you know,
Julie.
Mom or Dad went inside the store real quick to grab something to drink or something and came back out, which is often the case, which we see often in these cases. You know, did the kidnapper know that he had children inside the car? If there's a child sitting in the front seat, which we do believe was the case, this person clearly knows that there are occupants inside this car when they are getting in, but were they so desperate to steal that car?
Yeah, these days, man, I mean, I don't know how old the kids are. Maybe if you have older teenagers, it's different, but you can't even leave these kids in the car for a second because you don't know what's going to happen.
And at that point, this driver who was not of right mind should have just gotten out of the car and left it. But we saw what happened here. This all started, folks, at 6:41 tonight at Olympic in Rowan. This was in East LA, so you can just imagine in a very short amount of time the amount of distance that this driver was able to, and there's that crash again, cover. So from East LA, made it all the way to PCH and Canaan Doom Road there in the Point Doom area. And that is the focus right now of a rescue effort, of a rescue attempt. And we do know that that driver who we see running here in video that was shot earlier is now in custody.
It's true. You know, it makes you think, you know, how much one person caused tonight, you know, the number of victims that we're talking about here, let alone, I mean, the 3 children inside the.
And I just couldn't believe how he climbed through that barbed wire as if he had some type of experience, as if his skin was like hardened or something to some other level. He like, I don't know. I didn't see, like, he was grabbing the wire that stuff cuts you, doesn't it? Was it not barbed? Are those defunded materials that they're using now for the barbed wire? Is it plastic wire or something? What's going on with that? He grabbed that shit like nothing. He wasn't phased. You didn't see blood gushing out. And he just crawled through it and kept going. I was like, what the?
So the family of these children who are obviously going to be very shaken for the next, you know, I can't even imagine how long.
Meth? Maybe it's drugs. Yeah, right. If it's drugs, that's, yeah,
and,
maybe
you know,
so.
The children inside this car who were probably, you know, being told to be quiet, or who knows, you know, the chaos that must have been ensuing inside that car with the baby probably crying too, perhaps agitating the suspect even more, who knows, you know, causing that person to drive faster or more erratically. But it's just a nightmare all around when you think about
for
what
any
happened
parent,
here.
right?
Absolutely.
And we're being told another helicopter is also headed there, another rescue helicopter to this very scene. So I'm guessing maybe the 3 kids can go together. I wonder if there's another person who's seriously injured, the one that Lauren was saying that they may be using the jaws of life to pull that person, extract that person from the car. So as you were saying, one person creating so much havoc on a Friday night of a holiday weekend when a lot of families tend to go to the beach or spend just some time together barbecuing, the official end of summer, as we call Labor Day. And now basically it's gonna end up in a hospital stay for these kids for maybe a night, hopefully just a night, but maybe into tomorrow. And just heartbroken parents too, that they're gonna feel defeated that they left their kids for a second and this happened.
Sure, and just, you know, what could have happened, and just the thoughts of that. But the good news, if there is any tonight in all of this, is the fact that the 3 children are accounted for. We did see the CHP officers there on the ground bring the children, each one of them, every single one of them, 1, 2, 3, bring them out of the car and into the ambulances that are waiting, as you see on the right side of your screen there now, the center of your screen, as those firefighters get ready to transport them to the LA County Firehawk that is standing by now at Zuma Beach on the helipad there to take them to probably UCLA Medical Center.
And you can just see how dark it is there. There are fire crews there using their flashlights to guide people in. This is Zuma Beach where the helipad is. And here comes that second Firehawk, we believe, headed right to Zuma Beach to take the victims of this crash to get medical help. And Dave, you're still on the phone with us, yeah? Is he still there? Okay, we don't have Dave. But you know, he was saying earlier, Susie, it's incredible that even though you think, wow, they're just waiting for the helicopter, it's still a shorter ride in the helicopter once it gets there and takes them to the hospital versus trying to take them up PCH to Westwood.
That's right. This is a common scene that we see along PCH at Zuma Beach when there is trauma and where there are trauma victims. You see this medevac situation where they bring the chopper in and get them out of there faster, obviously, as Juan was talking about, going through those hillsides all the way up and down the hill and over, you know, across the 405 freeway could take a lot of time, and it's not time that they have in many situations like this, where there could be a patient whose, you know, life is clearly in danger after a situation like this. Again, we don't know the conditions of the children. Again, we saw them being pulled out one by one out of that car by the CHP, but their conditions unknown tonight, being, you know, brought out on stretchers one by one and being transported into or taken into the ambulance there. that waiting for transport now with the chopper.
Clearly, based on what we're seeing, the kids have some sort of injury, right? Hopefully, it's not a life-threatening injury, because I think we would see a very different situation here. And it looks like, Susie, are they taking those firefighters? Are they taking the first child to the helicopter?
It's hard to know if this is a child or if it was one of the victims from the other car that was affected by the crash at the end of the pursuit. But again, as we were talking about, we do believe there are multiple victims that will be transported tonight.
We're looking at it right there. That first Firehawk that arrived about 5 minutes or so ago, the first victim being loaded up into the helicopter there. They're going to be taken to UCLA Medical Center in the Westwood area, right by UCLA there. And looks like the first of the 3 children are being loaded up into the helicopter.
You know, we didn't want to see this. This is the last, ending that we wanted to see, how this pursuit came to an end, in a crash. Obviously, the children scared just from the pursuit itself, and a stranger taking the car that they were riding in with their mom or dad, perhaps, and taking off in it and taking them to somewhere, they have no idea where they're going. It's unclear what, happened inside the car, but you can only imagine the fear, the anticipation of what could happen next for these kids, just how frightening that must have been for them. And, then ending in this crash. We often see that happen, but with just the pursuit suspect inside and not so many victims along with that pursuit suspect. And, these children inside the car, one being a baby inside a car seat even. You can imagine the baby crying when that crash happened. You can just imagine it inside your head. You don't want to, but our hearts really go out to these children tonight just because of what they went through.
It's bad for adults and worse for children when the world seems so big to them too, right?
Sure, sure. Well, if you're just joining us here on KCAL News at 8, this is an end of a pursuit that came to a crashing end along PCH, on PCH and Canaan Doom there.
Kayla, thank you so much. Airdrie, thank you. Oh, raw time now. Thank you so much for the 10. Kayla, I'm trying to see your message. Hold on. It's not letting me look at it. I've been MIA. Oh, you got engaged at Electric Forest and have been traveling all summer. Okay, congratulations. Amazing. I'm happy for you. Thank you so much. And thank you for the 2 years, too. All right. Nice.
Went, climbed through over fences until he landed into some backyards of some people who live in the Point Doom area, and he took his shirt off. He had no shoes on, obviously very desperately running away from police. And then eventually
Joey,
we heard
yes, thank you. I just saw your
ground
tag
units there had caught up to him, and now he is under arrest.
Yeah, he came very close to maybe getting into those properties there, but CHP was able to get him in custody. We believe that he was somewhat injured there. So the rescue operation here, or not the rescue operation, getting these kids to the hospital is going to be continuing as we speak.
All right, we're going to continue to follow this breaking news here on KCAL News throughout the night, so be sure to keep it right here. Meanwhile, in other news tonight, Labor Day weekend.
I guess that's it. I will update the whole situation, like the kid's status and the suspect, tomorrow, if there's updates on iCkEdMeL Clips. Please make sure you check out my second channel because I'm posting a lot of stuff there. iCkEdMeL Clips. The Minneapolis shooter, I didn't realize. I woke up today, this evening, and I realized the video did really well. Yesterday's video, so I posted one tonight. If you want to check it out, I try to do like updates and news stories. So if you want extra stuff and you want shorter stuff, you can check out iCkEdMeL Clips. But hopefully the kids are okay. I feel like they are, but I don't know. That one kid was kind of laid out. I don't know. I hope the kids are fine. And the elderly lady too. There's just a lot that's been going on. A lot of violence and death and mayhem and baby Emmanuel still. Just a bunch of stuff going on. Paranoid, man. To do the simplest things. You don't know what's going to happen. All right. Thank you guys so much. Please subscribe to the channel. And I appreciate you guys writing with me last night. Last night was crazy too. The 2 cops that were shot but survived. Suspect dead, self-inflicted. Wild standoff. And it was over child support. These cops went to serve some type of warrant for child support, and they ended up getting shot and blasted. The guy ends his life. I got to look into that too, because I want to know if something more pops up with that. Let's see. But I think we're good. I think we're good. Whoa. No. This mom is wicked. The Minneapolis shooter. Can we do this real quick before I go? I guess. I was just tagged in this by Bonnie. We see Minneapolis shooter Robin's mom once starred in a film directed by daughter she gave up for adoption. What? The mother of the trans mass shooter once appeared in a movie made by her daughter, who she gave up for adoption as a child. Wow. No wonder this woman was running. She was running. So this is the daughter, Farrell Amadeus, 44 years old. Wow. Troubled family, I guess. The 2021 short film, which appeared in several festivals, was fictionalized, retelling Amadeus' real-life reunion with her biological mom, played by Mary. What? So there's a movie that she filmed in? My birth mother, who appears in the film, found me in 2005, and we later reunited with my bio dad in 2012. The emotional mystery of adoption could fuel countless stories. My birth mom was so generous with this project. She lent me photographs of herself. Oh, thank you, Mom. Oh, my God. Thank you for sharing your pictures with me, Mom. I'm so blessed to have something of you, a little morsel or a scrap of you, Mom. Thanks. She flew during the pandemic to film. We have a very special connection, and it is different from being a mom, which I have. Okay, Mama's got a lot of skeletons. Something's up. I don't know what's going on with the mother. And I talked about this tonight. It was really interesting, the history that the shooter, did not like the transformation, I guess. I don't know what they call it. The transformation. I don't know. Whatever. So crazy. Weird story. Just keeps winding, getting crazier. And again, condolences to those kids. 2 kids killed senselessly. So, all right. But okay, I'm going to get off. I'll catch you guys later if something pops off tonight. And love you. Bye. Boop, boop. Thank you so much. Hit like and subscribe. Oh, yeah. Boop, 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 boop. We should do some of the fun. I should try to balance in the fun stream sometimes. I don't know. We'll see. Once a month or once a week. I don't know. Something. Because this stuff is heavy. It's too much. Let's see. TikTok. What a book.
We just got
on the theater. I don't know how to check bookmarks. Oh, favorites? I'll leave it alone. But all right, you guys. Good night. Bye. Thank you. Peace. Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, bloop. Bye.